In your experience, why is it important for sales leaders to set learning goals in addition to sales goals?
I want to give credit to a book that prompted this thinking or refined it. It's called The Performance Paradox in Eduardo Briseño. This is really what got me thinking about this wonderful book, by the way. And I'm going to read something real quick for our listeners. It said the strongest organizations are learning organizations. Their structures and systems make the development of their people, now listen to this, the everyday default, which makes them agile, resilient, and impactful. It goes on to talk about how at one time Microsoft, a very successful organization, was a know it all organization versus a learning organization. Let me go back to your question because I wanted to give that resource and kind of credit to what got my thinking that way. All of us as sales managers, you've been one, I've been one. We set the sales goal. Then we set defined metrics, and those might be activity metrics. We've got quarterly. So we've got numbers coming out of our ears. What I'd encourage everyone listening to today is that for every goal you set, there should be a learning goal. So let's take activity metrics, prospecting, right? It could be email, LinkedIn, networking, referral partners, asking for referrals. We can set those leading indicators, but do your salespeople have the skills to execute those leading indicators? There is usually training behind that. I had a client last year, and it was really interesting. And I know you've had this in your work where the company's growing. And so they may have started out with hit your sales goal, go get them, right? Well, then as you grow, you've got to get more profitable, you've got to get more accountable. So they were making a lot of changes that year and they were introducing it at the sales meeting. So for each salesperson, they were going to have a new business development goal in addition to existing business goals, so landing and expanding, and then a goal around a specific program. You've got this new accountability, and often that's where it would stop. Now, to this company's credit, they recognized that they needed to give additional training in business development. For their industry, they brought in a social media expert. That's what their reps really needed to hone and find. Existing business. What they realized is a lot of their managers weren't that good at territory and account planning, which certainly then how could they teach that to their salespeople? So they brought in somebody to teach that. And then on the line of business, they realized that, okay, we've got to teach a new value proposition, new sales messaging. So right there was a company that we've got new sales goals, higher goals, more defined goals, whatever we want to call those today. But with every one of those, they weren't leaving them, like you've said, in the lifesaver boat. They gave them the resources and support. So that was just a great example of sales goals, learning goals, combining to execute.